nice laugh, are you?
Australian legends!
Hey!
Sir, can you knock?
What's up, everyone? Adam from FWCI. This is Bruce Stew, Bad Neighbors. I already like the sound of this. I love a good rivalry with people in the neighborhood. I'm honestly smart enough to not shit where I eat. I don't mess with any of the neighbors, and I've been pretty fortunate as well. I'm trying to think, have I had any bad, like really bad neighbors? I lived in a set of units once, and there were these like old bikey dudes down the end, and my mate like befriended them, and I don't really enjoy hanging around with them. I do remember having I don't know what country in Asia she was from, but she loved karaoke, and her favorite song was Delilah by Tom Jones. Make of that what you will. I'm not even saying it was bad. I used to actually turn my music down and listen when she would sing that. But let's jump into the video. This is Bruce Stew, Bad Neighbors. There's a movie called Bad Neighbors with Zac Efron and like Seth Rogen in it. Is that any good? Should I give it a watch? Let me know.
All right. Now, for those of you that don't know, me and my friend Brewer lived in the top floor of a duplex back when we were young, irresponsible adults. And during our 4-year stay there, we had 2 different neighbors that lived below us. Now, the first guy was a dude named John, who was like this 45-year-old stoner that lived by himself. And John was like the best downstairs neighbor that we could possibly have. He was always trying to help out and bring us food to eat, which was very important to us because Brewer and I just so happened to be broke as hell back then. We'd be sitting on the couch like, boy, I sure am hungry. Dude, do you have any money? Money? What the hell is money? And then John would just pop in and he'd be like, oh, hey guys, I was just making some corn dogs downstairs and, well, I got super stoned and accidentally made the whole box. You guys want to eat fucking 14 corn dogs? Now, one time, me and John were both in the basement doing our laundry.
You know what? This guy is a great neighbor. How is he a bad neighbor? Why is he being roped into this?
At like 7 o'clock in the morning, and out of nowhere, his ass was like, hey dude, I got some leftover Jello shots from Cinco de Mayo. You want to go eat a bunch and get super fucked up? John, don't you have to like go to work in an hour? Yeah, I sure do. Anyways, they're lime green ones made with tequila. So there I am, getting plastered at 7 o'clock in the morning with a 45-year-old man in a Hawaiian shirt. An hour later, I'm passed out drunk on our couch. John's ass is at work as a fucking welder of all things. Hey, John, are you all right? Yeah, I'm fine. Why do you ask? Yeah, the guy was a legend, that's for sure. Well, needless to say, me and Brewer were pretty disappointed when John moved out one day.
I'm disappointed that John moved out one day. John was great. He was good. But I will say, there is nothing more disorienting than getting drunk really early in the morning. In Australia, when pro wrestling is on the pay-per-views, back in the day, not so much anymore because they've changed days, but back in the day, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, all that shit, 8 o'clock on a Monday morning. That's when you were watching it. So I've had my fair share of getting shit-faced in the morning, and then you go out and you get all-you-can-eat Sizzler for lunch while you talk about the Rumble. It was great.
And our new neighbor moved in. Now, this new neighbor was a guy named Tom. And Tom was no fucking John, that's for goddamn sure. I mean, for one, Tom did not associate with us whatsoever. He lived underneath us for months, and we didn't have a single conversation. He'd just sit on the porch and smoke cigarettes and shit. Me and Brewer would just watch him at a distance like, well, what the fuck? When's this guy gonna start feeding us corn dogs? Yeah, our fucking Jello shots. This guy sucks ass at being the downstairs neighbor. Well, it didn't take long for the shit to hit the proverbial fan, if you will, between us and our new neighbor Tom. The first issue that we ran into was the fact that Tom worked early mornings every day. Now, Brewer and I had shitty second shift jobs at the Circle K and the Pizza Hut. So that meant that while Tom was trying to get his beauty sleep at night, me and Brewer would be upstairs doing dumb shit, being loud as fuck. Dude, you wanna go shoot beer bottles with a BB gun and fucking listen to old Limp Bizkit songs? Oh, hell yeah, I do.
I did it all for the Nookie. Come on. The Nookie. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a great rendition of Limp Bizkit. But come on, man, when you have people living below, you gotta be like a little bit quiet. I'm amazed at how many people are just so oblivious to that kind of stuff. I do creep around. When I have a neighbor below, I try my best to not make any noise.
Oh, if you guys thought that Tom's ass was gonna be the bad neighbor when you clicked on this video, but no, me and Brewer were actually the asshole neighbors 100%. So needless to say, Tom had a hard time.
Fucking knew it, you assholes. Poor Tom. Justice for Tom. He's got a packet of Newports on the fucking picture in his room. That... Is there a cigarette in his mouth while he's in bed? I fucking love this guy.
happy horseshit that we were up to. Now you'd think that he would just, ask us to keep it down, or hell, even do the old broomstick against the ceiling thing. No, this motherfucker decides to call the cops. That's what he decides to do. Hey,
Whoa.
we got an anonymous noise complaint from the other half of the house. You guys are playing the Nookie at way too many decibels. Now this kind of offended me and Brewer at first. I mean, hell, if Tom would have just came to us personally, we would have toned it down for sure. We didn't need the fucking 5-0 to come here and yell at us like they're our dad and shit. So after a few days, we went right back to doing stupid shit and being loud as hell. Hey, you wanna fucking fight each other with vacuum cleaners? Oh, hell yeah, you're on. And of course, Tom called the cops on us again. In fact, his ass probably called the cops probably a half a dozen times. But the cops would never really do anything.
I don't know, is Tom calling the cops because he's doing his best to not murder you? Is that what he's doing?
They just show up and be like, hey, we got a noise complaint? Yeah, we'll keep it down, all right? Now leave us alone. We're trying to fucking race these baboons on pogo sticks, for Christ's sake. Eventually, the cops just stopped coming over altogether. I don't know if it was Tom that gave up, or if the cops were just like, look, they're just loud assholes, all right? We can't just shoot them in the face, Tom, no matter how loud they are. Well, eventually, Tom would seek out some revenge of his own when he started to bring over a little lady friend of his. Now, the way the duplex was laid out, Tom's bed, when he started to bring over
Why does Tom's lady friend look exactly like Tom, but with a wig on?
for a little lady friend of his. Now, the way the duplex was laid out, Tom's bedroom just so happened to be directly underneath my bedroom. Now, some of you watching this might already know where I'm going with this. Aw, did you fucking hear them have loud, nasty sex late at night? You did, didn't you? Yeah, I fucking did. You see, late one night, in the wee early morning hours, I wake up to some very unsettling
I'm sorry, what the fuck is that? Let me know in the comments.
noises. I don't know what kind of weird tantric shit was going on downstairs, but it was loud and it was violent. That shit sounded like fucking two dogs fighting underneath a table and shit. It was crazy as hell. And to make matters worse, Tom was clearly the more vocal of the two. He just kept going, ha, 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 ha. So what did I decide to do about this unfortunate situation?
Don't, you didn't. No. Tom's gonna fucking kill you and then do BDSM stuff to you. Maybe not in that order, or maybe in that order.
Well, I sure as hell didn't call up the cops and be like, hey, my prick of a neighbor is having loud relations at above the neighborhood noise ordinance. Send lots of backup. No, I did not do that. Instead, my double standard having ass goes over to the vent in my room, and I yell something along the lines of, hey, fucking quit it! Knock it off! I gotta work 4 hours at the Pizza Hut tomorrow, God damn it! Stop it! Now, I don't know.
I gotta work 4 hours at Pizza Hut. Oh my god, these days, dude, I could work 4 hours after having, like, no sleep for 3 days without even fucking blinking. But, yeah, when you're that age, it's like, oh, I'm gonna work 4 hours, come on.
If they didn't hear me or if they just didn't care, but that did not stop whatever the fuck they were doing down there. So my ass had to sleep on the couch that night, traumatized as hell. Not to mention this happened for like a week straight, and every time I would get up and I would yell shit down the vent. Hell, sometimes I would just fuck with him instead. I wouldn't even yell. I'd just be like, Thomas, is that you? It's me, your mother. I don't really appreciate what you're doing down there, booby. But it didn't matter. They never stopped or responded or anything like that. And I had to keep my ass out on the couch because, well, I was definitely not trying to hear that shit, that's for sure. Now keep in mind that at this point, we still have not had any direct confrontation with Tom. Not a single conversation or a, hey, howdy do, I heard you fucking last night. Nothing. Nothing at all. Well, all that would change with what I like to call the dryer incident. And the dryer incident happened when one night at 3 o'clock in the morning, I decided to put my shoes in the dryer. I don't remember why my shoes were sopping wet in the first place, or why I had to have them dried at that precise moment, but I indeed put shoes in the goddamn dryer at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I feel like that's an important detail of this story, just quietly.
Now, if you've never put shoes in the dryer before by themselves, well, it sounds a lot like this. Well, this obviously wakes Tom's ass up, and apparently this was it. This was the final straw. Tom marches his ass upstairs, pissed off as hell. I open the door, and what I see is the angriest bald man I've ever seen in my life. Tom's standing there smoking a cigarette, and he's like, are those fucking shoes in the goddamn dryer? And my first reaction was like, holy hell, Tom, that is shoes in the dryer. How the hell did you guess that? This is like a fucking weird...
That's a good point.
Holy hell, Tom, that is shoes in the dryer. How the hell did you guess that? This is like a fucking weird game show of some sort. And welcome back to another episode of What's in the Dryer? Tom, for the grand prize, what do you hear? Clankety clank, 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 clank. It's a fucking TV remote and a bag of nickels. Anyways, Tom asked me if those are indeed shoes in the goddamn dryer, and I decided to hold my ground, even though, you know, I'm 100% wrong in this situation. Well, yeah, Tom, as a matter of fact, those are shoes in the goddamn dryer. It's 3 in the morning. Why the fuck did you put shoes in the dryer? Well, to get them dry, you dense son of a bitch. Why else would I fucking put them in there?
Duh.
So now we're going back and forth over who's the bigger asshole here, and it's me, clearly. But that's when I take a sharp left turn and bring up an entirely different topic. Yeah, well, I don't appreciate hearing you and your girlfriend's fucking sexual escapades at night. How about that? Wait, what? What the hell are you talking about? Well, I can hear you fucking, Tom, that's what. Ha! Ha! Ha 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 ha! Sound familiar, you fucking piece of shit? Yeah.
Honestly, that is very specific as well. We've all heard somebody having sex at some point in our life, and it's just stuck in our head.
Yeah, that's right. I had to pull a page out of Forrest Gump. I had to imitate his ass fucking. It wasn't my proudest moment, but, well, it was pretty effective.
I was just about to fucking reference Forrest Gump. I was gonna be like, as Forrest Gump, he'll tell you, but I was like, fuck it, let's just do the thing. Yes, that is a Forrest Gump.
Because Tom's ass was completely flustered. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Keep the damn shoes out of the dryer. You guys are assholes. And that was the first and last conversation that I had with our neighbor Tom. Me and Brewer moved out shortly afterwards, and Tom was free to do whatever crazy ass shit he wanted without having to worry about any prying ears. So Tom, on the off chance that you're watching this shitty little cartoon, I just want to apologize for being such a shitty upstairs neighbor. I know we should have been quiet and should have let you sleep, and you know, instead of yelling down the vent, I should have, I don't know, fucking whispered words of encouragement. Way to go, Tom, you can do it. Just know that you did traumatize my ass quite a bit in return, and every time I hear 2 fucking dogs fighting underneath a table, I can't help but think of your bald ass. The end.
That was great.
BruceDude.com.
Andrew Moore, you're a cop now, apparently. That was great. I like the twist that the bad neighbors were actually Tyler and Brewer. Great twist. That was, like I said, that's very specific. That whole story, it feels way too specific to be completely made up. It's the small details that make up these kind of stories, like Tom's He definitely heard those exact sounds. I would love to know if Tom has seen this. Can you? Honestly, I don't think Bruce Drew videos are probably his kind of entertainment from what I've seen. We all know what Tom's entertainment was. His entertainment was getting whipped and going, But let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this video. Don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube for more Bruce Drew reactions, or go to patreon.com/FWCI if you want to support the channel a little bit further and get some early access to other stuff, and patreon.com/Bruce Drew as well if you want to support the man directly. And as always, everyone, be well, stay safe, look after your friends. See you in the next video. Peace!